Hello everyone and welcome to episode 15 of The Spawn Point. Once again we are joined with Andy Webb, Steve Barnett, and we also have Sackboy, our special guest from Little Big Planet.
I love Sackboy.
We all love Sackboy, Steve.
I'm sure he loves you too, Steve.
But he's not real, so get over it.
He is to me in my heart.
This episode we're going to be talking about something which happened fairly recently, and that is that Twitch has implemented a Content ID type system. They partnered up with a company called Audible Magic. Before we get to that, it's worth mentioning our sponsor once again. 10% off. Vectra is the code. That's for Virtual Gladiators hosting, and you can get that right now by heading over to virtualgladiators.com. But for this episode, it's all about Twitch, Content ID. I'm sure both of you have heard about this, and we're going to talk about what you have to say about it, and also potential competitor Hitbox as well. So, what has Twitch done? What have they done, guys?
Oh, they've made a massive mistake. I don't know why they're doing this for. Like, what have they done? They're just ruining things. Hitbox are going to come along and go whoosh, and take all their people.
Now, what Steve's talking about here is they've started muting audio for things that have got suggested copyright in them. It works very similar to YouTube's Content ID in the fact that it just scans for audio, and if it matches something in the library, then it will mute for a whole 30 minutes. It won't mute a portion, it will mute the whole in the next 30 minutes. The problem with this is it hasn't been working as planned. So just to give you a brief summary of what Twitch had to say in their most recent blog post, they said, starting today, Twitch will be implementing technology intended to help broadcasters avoid the storage of videos containing unauthorized third-party audio. We respect the rights of copyright owners and are voluntarily undertaking this effort to help protect both our broadcasters and copyright owners. So they've partnered with Audible Magic, and basically it's only for VODs. It's not for, that's worth stressing, it's not for like live stream stuff. It will just suddenly get muted. It's only for video on demand content. But they've partnered up with this other company, and flag content will display an on-screen notification informing viewers that the content owned or controlled by a third party has been identified. You'll see a red progress bar just muted that entire section. And what they have to say is that, please note, audio recognition is not guaranteed to be 100% accurate. Now, I think that's one of the biggest understatements of this entire thing.
What do you think? That's just a get-out clause there. Yeah, it's not 100% accurate, so, just ignore it. The fact that it's muting people's voices and the sound of crowds and all sorts of things like that. It's just badly implemented, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and is this any good come of this? Like, could this help anybody, really?
Let me say one thing. Twitch actually did a broadcast on their account, and I believe they actually got muted as well.
Yeah, this is another point. They
got muted.
They got their own. It was a part of the Twitch Weekly thing that they usually do, and it was for like the 18th of July, and it got muted for a portion of it, which is just ironic that Twitch are muting themselves with their own software. It's a little bit like us making a copyright claim against our own channel. It's a little bit like that. It's a bit stupid. So yeah, do you think everybody's right in, this has received massive backlash and bad reception? Would you agree that they deserve all this for what they've done?
I do. Hitbox are going to come along now and go, cha-ching! Like, we can easily make something out of this. And a Hitbox ideally will, because look at their service compared to Twitch. I mean, Twitch is a really good company. They are still a good company, but they're making some really... I don't know about these companies that get to a certain size and they do some silly things, and I don't understand why they do it.
I mean, I can understand why they've implemented the system, because people have been taking liberties with the stream for a long time, playing copyrighted music, and obviously they don't have the actual license, or some of them don't have the licenses to play it. I guess
that... The thing is, though, is that people listening to these streams, you don't listen to a live stream on Twitch for the music. Like, you don't go, oh, I really want to listen to some Katy Perry, and I'm going to go on a Twitch stream to watch that. Like, you can watch that on YouTube if you really wanted to watch that, listen to that song or whatever. You're not going to go onto someone's stream and hope that song comes along. Like, you're not going to keep on going, or on like the VOD stuff, you're not going to keep playing their highlight back again and again and again just to listen to that part of the song with them talking over it. Like, if they're talking over it and you've got it playing minutely in the background, I don't really see an issue. It's not like you're just streaming.
It is a massive legal issue. Like, people shouldn't be doing it. They don't have the right to be broadcasting that because people have paid for it, and they should be like, they shouldn't be using it full stop.
But it's not going to affect sales of a song. I don't think it's not going to deter people to buy a song. They're not going to go.
I agree with Matt there.
You're not going to go, like, how many times are you going to listen to a stream and go, right, I've heard that song now. I'm not going to go out and buy the album or listen to it on YouTube and you know, because on YouTube they get advertising revenue from it. Like, if they're on Vivo, they get very good advertising revenue rates, like all the artists on there, because it's like considered like top premium quality, and they make money that way. So you probably go, and if you really like that song, you go and listen to it. I don't see how it would affect their sales if you're playing a song in the background and you're going to go, I don't need to hear that again. You know, like.
No, I mean, it might. I was going to say it might not necessarily hurt their sales, but something like if X streamer is streaming music through Spotify, for example, there was a very good example that if someone listens to that on Spotify, the person listening to that is giving sort of revenue to the person whose song it is. However, if there's like 10, 20,000 people in the stream, they're all listening to that music, and the
but you can listen to
Spotify.
You can listen to Spotify music for free. Like, you can make a free account, and you don't even have to have any of the adverts. There's a trick that I used to use where I used to skip the adverts. All you have to do is just click play on another song before it finishes, and it won't trigger an ad. So you can actually do Spotify for free and listen to that music. But, you know, you're not going to say, if you're not saying, oh, if you come onto my stream at this time, you can expect these songs, and people are going to specifically come to that. They come for the streamer to watch the stream, not really listen to the music. It kind of is a compliment to the side of that. But I can see it being illegal. I can see music labels being concerned that their product is being distributed for free. But I do think that there's a fine line between just sitting there playing music and not doing any gaming and not saying anything and just streaming the songs and talking it in the background. I feel like it's not as simple as like a yes or no answer. Like, it's a little bit like it depends what the situation is. And this is like a quick fix for that.
It is a very blurred line. Oh, sorry, Steve, go on.
Sorry.
I'll let you try and for.
The way I see it is, if, you know, for example, X streamer is streaming this content and he's got Katy Perry in the background, I don't have an issue with that, for example. But if X streamer, for example, was playing some content and he also had Katy Perry on in the background and he was monetizing that, so he was gaining revenue from that, then I believe that is wrong. But if someone is doing it for free, I know that Twitch is kind of receiving some kind of revenue, but I kind of think it's a little bit more. Do the
VOD stuff on Twitch? Does that generate revenue, or is it only the live stream stuff?
You can actually have it if you've got enough people and you have a sub button. You can actually make the VODs private to any subs, so they can only see them.
So I was going to say, just on the point of all this audio being matched and stuff like that, and obviously it's a bad thing. Like, in pen and paper, it sounds like a good thing. It makes sense to enforce it, but it's muting people's voices, and it's muting things which shouldn't be muted, and it's not working as planned. But to address this, they said that if there's an invalid claim, they're making an appeal button. In fact, I'll read what they had a recent blog which addressed these issues. They asked people's feedback, and people sure as hell gave it. And this is what they had to say. So, where is it? I've got it here. Okay. So it says, first, effective tonight. So this is one of the things. The maximum time limit on highlights will be removed. So previously, I think there was a 2-hour time limit on highlights, which for the people who do like speed runs of games, it was very hard for them to prove that they had beaten like a world record or something, because the history wasn't kept there. Like, if they're live streaming a speed run and it caps at 2 hours and the speed run's 3 hours, they can't prove it because it won't allow them to save that. So they've lifted that, although they still won't be saved forever. I'm led to believe. The second thing they're doing is they're deploying an appeal button for VODs, which have been flagged for copyright music, but are actually like invalid claims, like it's flagged something by mistake. Is that good enough? Is it good enough to say that, if you get these, because some people have said, I've been looking at Twitter very closely, and some people have said, this isn't good enough, like I shouldn't have to appeal in the first place, like these claims shouldn't be getting made. Is that like is that a good enough thing to say? Just say we've got an appeal button?
I don't think it's... No. I kind of think... Sorry, Andy, go on.
I kind of think, and Andy's opinion matters more. It's the system I think they're using isn't being implemented right. So, I mean, how many songs do you know out there that last 30 minutes for a start? And is everyone listening to prog rock on here or something?
I think the assumption is that they think if they're going to stream this, if X streamer is going to stream X song for a 3-minute song, the likelihood is the next 30 minutes are also going to contain. So they're making the assumption.
But
I don't think
the issue is the system's flagging up in-game sounds as well and in-game music let's take the Necrodancer for example. The actual developer of the Necrodancer game is fine with people playing his game with the music being on there, who owns the rights to the music, and people's streams are being flagged up for it, and he's actively tweeted just saying
it's a little bit like third parties. It's a little very similar to the YouTube stuff. Is that sometimes it's not always like if you get a claim for a game a claim from Dead Island, it might not be Deep Silver. It might be a third party company that also owns the license to that music. Then it's probably not.
But he made the music.
He made the music. So there's no other external party that owns the music as well.
No, it seems that the one thing that they reckon's happened is some person has uploaded that music to SoundCloud, which is one of the systems that Audio Magic uses, and because it's been uploaded by someone on SoundCloud, it's then gone, flagged.
But that's very unreliable. So Audio Magic uses SoundCloud to determine, because I could upload anything to SoundCloud and claim ownership over it if I'm like the first person to it. Like if I uploaded it before, that's stupid. Like YouTube is a bit more sophisticated than that because they have a content ID library that you have to physically upload to. Like you have to go onto a separate link and you have to upload stuff onto there. It doesn't go onto a separate website. But
I kind of think that Twitch are doing all these changes to make them to butter themselves up when Google do eventually buy Twitch. Like, look at us, we've done this. Look at us, we've made sure we've got all this sorted out. But I don't think they have. Like, it's a terrible system they've implemented. Like you said, Matt, the way that YouTube's got their system, it's 10 times better than what Twitch has got.
It's not good though.
It was. Do you know what? Steve made the perfect segue there to the next point, because the next topic we were going to discuss was whether this whole thing was to do with the Twitch and Google deal that we talked about all the way back in episode 5. We were talking about the rumours of the deal, of this $1 billion deal, which pretty much are coming true. And I read an article that said that they were basically doing this to, like, these are the final steps to keep, in order to, it's a little bit like they want this to seal this deal, but in order for Google to give the heads up and say, we're happy with this, it's like they had a list of terms, like, we'd like to buy Twitch for this amount, under these conditions, that you implement a content ID type scheme for your VODs and, a list of other things, I reckon. And they've had to abide by those in order to secure the deal. Is this part of one of those things that, like, do you reckon they've done this purely to make Google happy and to kind of seal that deal?
I mean, it kind of makes sense, because if you look at what happened at the same time, so there's cut Justin TV, that's shut down. What does Justin TV do? It streams all of the non-gaming content that was parted from, that Twitch sort of was born from. And where's the competitor for that? Oh, YouTube. So it does seem like, hey, get rid of Justin, then people have got one less thing to stream on, so they'll more likely than not go to YouTube to do all the streaming, which people are doing already. But
I kind of feel that if Google do buy Twitch, or if Google don't buy Twitch, I kind of think this is a downward spiral now for Twitch. And the reason being that if Google do buy Twitch, you can guarantee that they will not listen to the community, a bit like YouTube, and they make their own, their own choices. And some choices are good, but they also make a lot of bad choices at the same time. And I think this is where Hitbox can come in and go, no, we're nothing to do with Google at all. We make our own decisions, and for this reason, this is why we're gonna, outdo Twitch. It's gonna take a few years, of course. It's not gonna happen overnight.
One of the things is that I joked about with I don't know if I said to both of you, but I said about our predictions from episode 5 were coming true. Like some of the stuff we said, like I'm pretty sure that one of us said like, they'll probably have some kind of I think I said, would there be some kind of content ID system? And then Patrick, Warpath Gaming, who's been on the podcast twice, he said, no, I think they'll manually have a process where you flag. Well, that doesn't turn out to be the case. They've implemented a scheme for that, and I'm worried that some of the other predictions we had about what they're trying to do, people are joking, and it's all very well to joke, but some people are joking about, oh, welcome to Twitch, please sign in with your Google Plus account here.
Oh,
and
God,
and I find that funny, but I also don't want to laugh at that because I fear that could be a joke that does become true. And is this a sign of worse to come? Could they implement Google Plus? Is this just like a downhill kind of?
They have everything on Google Plus. So I think that they will implement Google Plus on Twitch. Now, I kind of feel to myself that Twitch will crash and burn, but they're so huge, it would take a lot for them to crash.
I don't know. I feel like it would just be destroying Twitch too much. I don't think they would want to integrate it too much with YouTube and keep it separate, because it's got its base already and it's been damaged with this recent sort of update to its terms and conditions. And I feel like just saying, hey, you now need Google Plus to sign into Twitch, that will start damaging people even more.
That brings up a good point as well. Do you think that because of this kind of bad reception it's received, do you think that maybe Twitch are feeling a bit hesitant on the Google deal because they're thinking, well, they told us to do that, like, oh, this isn't me saying this is true, but I'm assuming that I'm trying to cover my back here, but I'm assuming that they got told you need to do this, and Twitch said, okay, we'll do it, and they were like, whoa, that got us really bad feedback. We lost a lot of popularity doing this decision. Maybe we shouldn't go ahead with this deal. Obviously, no one knows how far along, whether they've signed on the dotted line or whether it's still in like the pending process, but could this make them hesitant to continue with the rest of it? Like, could this be put them off?
With the actual implementation of it, it was like, hey, we're doing this now.
Yeah.
And it's not like they were like, we're going to do this, we're going to implement it in a couple of weeks, we're going to give you some time to sort everything out and, archive everything. It's like, it's been done. They've made it so.
Sorry, yes, Steve. No.
I just think that this is the way. I don't know with the early Twitch when they first started out, but they were more community driven. Like if they said, "What do you guys want?" and they would say, and then the Twitch would try and implement that. But the way I see it is that Hitbox are more community driven. Like if the community wants something, they tried their best. Obviously, within reason.
Well, Twitch used to be brilliant. Like I was streaming in 2010 before Twitch was really established. I was streaming on like Ustream or something, really. And then I made the transition to Twitch, and Twitch was brilliant. There was no 30-second delays. There was no this content ID stuff. Like, it was a great place to be. And I kind of feel like times have changed a little bit. And because it's become so popular, they've had to kind of make some drastic decisions. But going more onto Hitbox, this whole thing has been very beneficial to them. I said to Andy earlier on that they have their number of concurrent live streams has increased by 300%. Now, to put that into perspective, it could be, Andy said, oh, maybe if that's 10 streams, now it's 30, but there was always been more than 10 streams. I'm pretty sure there's been around 100 streams before this, and now if that's 300, that's about a few thousand possibly. I know there's definitely there's definitely at least 50 streams going on at once. And this is concurrent, by the way. This isn't like one person streaming and then another person streaming at a different time. This is like constant streams going on. And they also had a make the switch marketing thing where they had the balls to like make a blog thing, a blog post just saying, we don't think it's fair you've got a 30-second delay in content ID matches. Come over to Hitbox, make the switch. And even though they didn't mention Twitch's name, it was implied that they were saying make the switch from Twitch to Hitbox.
Twitch.
And it also came out on the same day that
Yeah, exactly.
Twitch did all the changes.
And also, on top of all of that, you've got other companies now who are supporting, or other software that's supporting it. So there's a, I can't remember what it's called, like some speedrunning community or system thing that helps promote speedrunners. They provide a partial support to Hitbox now. And also, there is T-Notifier, which is where you get someone like donate or follow you. It has a little on-screen notification. And they're now providing support for Hitbox as well. And they also said, someone said, oh, so what will it be now? TH Notifier instead of T Notifier. And the guy said, the T has never standed for Twitch Notifier. It's for my name, Tom. Tom's Notifier. So it was just a coincidence. But with all that being said and done, can Hitbox be a strong competitor to Twitch, either now or in the future at some point? Is there going to be like a strong rivalry, and like, are they going to be classed as actual competition?
I want to jump in here. I feel that jump in. I feel that Hitbox, because they're community driven. Now, I can't say for the future, like they might go down the same road as Twitch will, but I kind of feel that Twitch are just kind of like riding off the money. We're going to get $1 billion out of this. And I kind of feel if they sell to Google, Google aren't community driven. Google are more of how much money can we make? Because why would they offer $1 billion for something that wouldn't work out if it wouldn't, So Google are just looking for a quick fix for money, and that's the way I feel. I don't know if I'm wrong on that one, but if I am, then I'm not going to apologise. No, I'm sorry.
And Andy, what about you? What would you have to say about this matter?
I think Hitbox are going to sort of gain from this, because people are going to be like, hey, I really want to play my music in my streams. I like having that in the background. I like listening to the music that I like. Hitbox at the moment aren't going to be doing any of this content ID stuff. It's new and upcoming, so you know what, I might try that out. But
I was going to say just some of the other things, not just the whole content ID and it being fresh, but I've also got a couple of tweets that I decided to make note of, talking about they're not all positive. There is a negative one, and that's something that is also worth discussing. But here's some of them. So Foop X Johnson on Twitter said, I've been on Hitbox for 20 minutes, just setting up my stream for the first time, and I've already grown to love everything. All of these tweets, by the way, were made in the last few days. They're recent. Neon Street Pro said, just tested out at Hitbox Live for the first time and was blown away when I only found a 6-second delay, much better for chat integration. Then BKKK said, the lack of delay on Hitbox is kind of crazy. Well done. Hashtag Hitbox Live Hype. Well done. Beluga says Hitbox is clean looking, has more customization potential, no delay at all. Well, that's not exactly true. It's like a few seconds, but pretty much. Nice devs and clear partnership rules. Just switch. And then one of the ones which has a good point. So these are all positive, but only Arion on Twitter said, but not enough viewer / too small community. Now, this is probably the biggest problem for Hitbox right now, is they've got so much potential. They've got great features. They've got this short delay. Like you can say something and someone will hear it as a viewer in a few seconds. But you have got less people viewing on there. Now, is that an issue because big streamers are feeling reluctant to make the transition? They don't know if all of their audience will follow over. Or is it that just people just don't like watching streams on Hitbox? Like, what do you think the reason is behind there being a lack of community?
I kind of think these big streamers that have got a big follower, that have got a big following base. I kind of think some of them, not all of them, I think that they are loyal to the streaming service, a bit like YouTube. If something else come along, they would be loyal to YouTube or loyal to their YouTube network. I'm not going to leave here because these guys have treated me so well. I get everything I need, so why do I need to go to somewhere else that offers me the same service?
Yeah, I don't quite agree with that. I think some of them probably have their installed user base on like YouTube or on Twitch, and if they switch over to Hitbox, then the message might not get out to all of their subscribers. So when they go over there, it's going to drop maybe significantly, which means less income for them possibly. And I just feel like if a big one was to swap over today, they wouldn't get the same amount of views as they currently get.
I think a given is that it's much, in my eyes, it's much more beneficial immediately for the viewer if you're watching a stream on Hitbox, because you can actually interact in real time. The streams are more informative for them because the dashboard allows you to set up polls, set up giveaways that are built within the stream. You can make social media posts from the dashboard. You can look at those statistics, so you can kind of fine-tune your streams to be better and more informative for the audience. But I feel like the streamers are the ones who are reluctant because they don't know if Twitch has got a lot of, has been around for like 3 or 4 years. It's got history. It's got a future. Hitbox is coming up to its 1-year anniversary in October. So it's only been around. It's been around less than a year. So I feel like people don't want to throw all their eggs into one basket and then have that fall through, and then have to try and go back to Twitch and try and tell all of their viewers who went over there to come back to Twitch. Like, I feel that's a bit of reluctancy in that.
If there's a few big Twitch partners out there, this is what I think. It only takes a few of those big Twitch partners to make the move, and then they go, actually, because it's like if one person does it, then usually they follow suit. They might have a little go and think, oh, actually, I do like this. People start to follow them over to Hitbox, and then the viewers think, oh, actually, this is a better kind of, thing for me because there's only a little bit of delay. So, it's better than what it was on Twitch for me as a viewer.
I mean, I guess we're also sort of getting stuff like Ustream and actually YouTube itself as and any other potential streaming services, because they're not all just going to transition. If everyone decides to leave Twitch tomorrow, they're not all going to go to Hitbox. Some of them might go there, some of them might go to Ustream, and I guess it's just a possibility of them weighing up all of the different styles and advantages of all the different streaming services and picking the best one.
I'm just thinking about it. The last few minutes, I've just been thinking in my head about the Hitbox's success could be down to Twitch's mistakes. Like, the more that Twitch make poor decisions that aren't less popular decisions, the more Hitbox will succeed. So Hitbox can be more of a pain for Twitch if Twitch are more of a pain to their viewers and their streamers. So it's kind of like, their mess up is their gain. And yeah, there's been a gradual process, like they become more popular. But I had the bit that made me laugh is that, like, someone said to me, they said, "Oh, Matt, have you checked out Hitbox?" This is recent. They said, "Oh, Matt, have you checked out this Hitbox TV thing?" And I was like, "Yes, I did a review of it back in May. I've been telling people for ages how good Hitbox is, and now people are realizing, like, more people are realizing, actually, it's actually pretty good. Like, there's no stream delay. I was like, this is stuff I've been saying for a long time, and you're coming to me and saying, have you heard of this? Yes, I bloody made it. I heard about it ages ago. At the beginning of the year, I heard about it.
I was the one that told you.
So yeah, but I think overall, what's the future looking like for Twitch? Is it a dark one? Does Hitbox have more of a promising future? And do you still have faith in Twitch overall?
I think it'd be a dark future for Twitch if they carry on the way they're going. if this thing is to do with Google, I think it will be very a downward spiral. But if they were to make their changes and come out the other end and think, actually, the deal we were going to do, we've decided to pull out, I think that they could regain back the potential people they lost or gain new people that were on different services. So, yeah, I think the way they're going at the moment is downward spiral.
And Andy, would you say same sort of thing or slightly different?
The stuff that they're implementing, it's been a long time coming, really. And I feel like if Hitbox gets big enough, they'll have to implement something similar. Although I feel like Twitch has implemented it completely wrong, and the way that they're doing it isn't the best solution out there, which could alienate people. So, yeah, I think that it's something that has to be done, and it's something that we know has been coming. But yeah, they're doing it in the wrong manner.
Yeah, and I would probably say that I consider myself to be a converted Hitbox fan. I mean, I haven't streamed that often on it, but for a while, I kind of feel like Twitch is, just because you're the most popular doesn't mean that you have the best service. Like Hitbox have a lot, and this is another thing that I forgot to mention earlier, is I contacted Hitbox, a member of staff from Hitbox, and said I had trying to set up the team for Vectra Gaming, and I basically, Dan's his name, I dropped him an email. I was like, "Hi Dan, just wondering if you could deactivate the old account and transfer over to the new name, like the team and stuff." And he responded back to me in 5 minutes, told me everything I needed to know, said that you can just log into your previous account still if you know the password, just delete it and you can set it up on the new one, and then let me know when you want to close it down. And that was crazy support. It's 5 minutes, and I feel like they've got a promising future, and I don't think they'll ever overtake Twitch. I feel like Twitch is a juggernaut in this, and they'll continue powering through. But I feel like Hitbox will be what YouTube has never had, which is a strong competitor that people could easily jump ship from. That's what I mean.
Is the fact that they've got such good service, the fact that the community is so small at the moment, and if it gets much bigger, is there a danger of them losing that customer service? That's the only thing that I'd have to say. And it's awesome that they got back to you so quickly. I'm just
possibly, possibly, but I reckon that in that case they could hire more people and stuff like that, and they even have plans for because some guy tried to be a smart ass about it. It's oh well, the current feed you use for your stream to reduce your stream delay won't be a beneficial long-term plan, because you will, when there's more people on it, you'll start getting the same delays as Twitch. And they responded back and basically just owned this guy. They were like, actually, we plan to switch to HTTP5, or I can't remember the name of the other one, when our numbers grow. And at the most, we forecast an 8 to 10 second stream delay for most people when traffic is, if traffic was the same as Twitch, pretty much. So still short delays. And I feel like they know what they're doing, and it's got a promising future. But Twitch will remain king, even if they make some silly mistakes like they have done. But let us know in the comments section whether you've streamed on Hitbox or Twitch, which one you prefer, whether you've considered in #making the switch. Yes, just let us know. And from me, Andy Webb, Steve Barnett, and the very silent Sackboy from Little Big Planet, it is goodbye from all of us.